Good morning, graduating class of 2025. Also, good morning to the faculty, family members, friends, and others in their villages that are gathered here to celebrate with them. I'm extremely honored and humbled by this opportunity to stand before you today on this momentous occasion to celebrate the culmination of years of hard work and dedication. It was a brief 12 years ago that I sat in the very same position you are in right now, attending my graduation ceremony from the University of Minnesota School of Dentistry. It was a moment of mixed emotions, as I would be leaving my nest known as Moose Tower to venture out into the big world. I was excited to graduate, a little anxious about patient treatment expectations, and hopeful for the chance to place my stamp on the dental community. The theme for today's speech is Uncharted Waters. I believe we can agree this theme is quite fitting, given our geographic location. However, these waters are not the Mississippi River, Lake Bede-Makaska, or Minnehaha Falls. These waters are the waters of your life, prepared to flow in any direction as you navigate on this journey. Fully submerged in the waters of self-driven life, surrounded by choices that will either create an obstacle on your voyage or become a boost in your mission momentum. I want us all to take a moment and think about the fact that we are here to celebrate the commencement, which means the beginning. This is only the beginning of your individual journey as dentists. I know many of you are thinking that you have this next chapter under control. You may have no worries. Your vessel is ready for this venture. As you go on to an AGD program, a GPR, or maybe even a residency program. You may even be headed to a corporation group, private practice, or community health center. I remember that sense of feeling invincible and that anything in life was achievable. I would like to draw a connection between your role as captain of your personal vessel and being the captain of your clinical team. I want to draw extra attention to the fact that I said, not director, not a clinic owner, but the captain. I said captain of your clinical team. You may wear multiple hats, depending on your roles and responsibility, but the most critical one will be captain. The captain is not like the coach, it's not like the owner. They are actually in the live action, side by side with the team, day in and day out. As a dentist, you will be in the live action of educating patients, evaluating clinical conditions, and delivering high-quality treatment to your patients. It is fair to presume, especially after last night's celebration, that many of you have been or currently are leaders, whether it be on sports teams, academic clubs, organizations, or serving leadership roles within your school community. Even if you have never served in any of these capacities, you are still the leader of your journey. I challenge each of you not to only be captains of your teams, but to also be servant leaders. Lead with a purpose and not from a place of power. Lead with an attitude of gratitude. Lead with a heart filled with empathy and hope. I know someone is wondering and possibly waiting for me to explain what I believe is the key ingredients for becoming a servant leader. I thank each of you that silently asks this question to yourself, or maybe even whisper to the person next to you. I believe a servant leader has 3 key ingredients that can help develop them into a great servant leader. The first of which is flexibility. I know each of you have some experience with this key attribute, given your education process during the COVID-19 pandemic. You had to quickly adapt to ever-changing environments, maintain focus to achieve peak performance, all while completing this exciting portion of your education. I want to let you in on a little secret. This aspect of life does not change. No matter the area you choose to work in or stage of life, you will encounter change. It is those who are best able to handle changes that will make the greatest impact. Second, you must have perseverance. This characteristic might be a little foreign for some of you, given your consistent success inside and outside of the classroom. Trust me when I tell you that challenging times are going to show up during your journey. When I was a young boy, my grandfather would always say, anything in life that is truly worth something will take some effort and sacrifice to obtain. Your ability to push through obstacles to reach goals, the confidence to try again after failure, and the accolades you earn along the way, all will be a representation of your perseverance. And last, and definitely not least, as a leader, one must be better at listening at times than giving directives. You are a leader, and it is your responsibility to foster an environment of inclusion within your team. In order to effectively and efficiently give direction, one must first listen to understand and not to respond. When we take a moment to truly understand the situation first, then respond in a manner that encourages everyone involved in the conversation, we empower our group or team to perform at optimal levels. Now that we have discussed the 3 key ingredients of being a great servant leader, I now would like to address how society teaches us to view great leaders. I know there are many different ways of defining a great leader. Some view people with large followings as great leaders. Some view people with esteemed careers as great leaders. Some view people in charge of large companies as great leaders. I don't agree with any of those viewpoints. I believe the definition of a great leader is having the ability to get someone to do something that they thought was unachievable. I want to say this one more time and ensure that each of you understand this point. The definition of a great leader is having the ability to get someone to do something that they thought was unachievable. You may have thought getting that first perio patient that said, "I can't floss. I've tried before. I can't do it," to begin flossing with something. Trust me when I tell you that dentistry will provide you with ample opportunities to display your leadership skills. In closing, I want to leave you with this piece of encouragement. You might have some fears about this next chapter of your journey. However, having fear is not a problem. It is what you do with that fear that truly matters. I learned this acronym for the word fear, and it helped me along my journey. Hopefully, it changes your perspective of having that feeling and motivates you to conquer your fears. Fear, F-E-A-R, is a failure to utilize every available resource. Once again, fear, F-E-A-R, is a failure to utilize every available resource. Each of you possesses a significant amount of potential, and it is your ability to utilize all of your available resources that will determine the trajectory of your journey. Don't be afraid to ask for advice or help when making life-altering decisions. Trust me when I tell you from personal experience that the guidance of wisdom is priceless. I pray that each of you has the covering of grace and mercy over your vessels as you navigate through these waters of life. Also, that each of you receives the blessing of finding your true purpose in life. Best wishes on your journey as the next chapter begins. Be blessed.